time for Two Guys on Sports. I'm Larry Hazer.
I'm Dick Olson. Good morning, Larry.
Morning, Dick. And here we go on, the first week of the playoffs.
Yep.
But let's look back a little bit here on what happened in the conferences around the area. And I guess most of them pretty much went the way everybody thought they were going to go.
I said, well, we'll start with the Clover Belt.
Yep.
Both Regis and Mondovi won their last game, so they ended up tied for first. And then Neillsville Grattan Warriors and Stanley Boyd came in third, Neillsville fourth. But that last weekend, Elk Mound, of course, getting a win against Neillsville, got them up to 3 wins, put them on the bubble, and put them in, as it turns out. So
same with Durand, Arkansas.
Durand, Arkansas.
Yeah, so a number of teams from the Clover Belt actually making it into
6 out of 8.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
The CWC large division pretty much went as expected. Stratford finishing the conference season unbeaten, with Wittenberg, Burnhamwood, and Amherst right behind. And
WIAA Fremont also qualifying. And,
Yeah.
And for their efforts, they got a first-round game, I believe, with Stratford.
Yes, they do, yes. We got Edgar winning the Merriwood Conference, and I tell you, they've been running
good. And we'll talk about D7 here in a little bit because and we'll talk about it. We'll just keep going here. Also,
Auburndale, they finished second in that tough Merriwood Conference. Colby coming away third after Auburndale beat them.
Yeah, and I believe that game against Colby, Larry, got Auburndale a number 1 seed over Stratford.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was totally deserved, but we'll see. It's probably level 3, but but that did get and I quite honestly I don't know how Colby held on to a number 1 seed after that loss too.
Right.
So, but we'll talk about it. So.
All right, Stevens Point finished top in the Wisconsin Valley, or the Valley Football Association, I should say. Marshfield did finish 4-3 in that conference and did get
got a big win over Hortonville end of the season, so they got in and they get a road trip up to New Richmond for their efforts.
the short trip to New Richmond.
Yeah.
CWC Small, a lot of people thought Assumption was going to win that conference, but actually it was Iola Scandinavia.
Yeah, they won, and then how about the Loyal Greyhounds?
Yeah,
Larry?
how about them?
64 points against Pacelli that last game. Lewis Nikolai, around 200 yards and 5 touchdowns in that game, and a pass interception. So
we seen those guys way back in week 2 against Neillsville Granton,
and you'd never dream they were going to be a playoff contender. I didn't know if they were going to score on the season the way they looked against Neillsville Granton. So, but time changes, and they had some young players that came together. Young Stiglitz at quarterback his first year, I think, got comfortable back there, and I think they got an offensive line put together too.
Okay,
and
that's important.
Yep. Now we'll talk about what they're going to do here in a minute too. So
McDonald Central in 8-player football in that CWWC finished first in the West Division. Gilman took first in the East Division, and Gilman been number 1 for a good part of the year.
Pretty much ever since they knocked off, I believe, Thorpe, and they've been up there and they've held on to it, and nobody's really come close to them.
No,
quite honestly.
No.
So.
And it'll be an interesting matchup. We'll look at that first-round matchup for them coming up here on Two Guys on Sports as we look at what's coming up here in Level 1 of the WIAA Football Playoffs. Let's start with Neillsville Granton. First time they've been in the playoffs. First time they've hosted a playoff game in 14 years.
2009, and I believe the last time they also hosted, and I believe it was Northwestern.
Yes,
that they had down here. I believe that was a Level 2 game. So,
yes, it was.
So they will be, St. Croix Falls coming in. St. Croix Falls comes in at 5-4. Interesting season they've had. They've lost their first 4 games of the season and won their last 5. But they are a team that totally depends on the run. Aiden Metter, 172 carries, 1,359 yards, 7.9 average, and 17 touchdowns. So
that's their quarterback has only attempted 79 passes on the year.
So they're and doesn't look like they've thrown for a whole lot of yards either. It looks like a lot of short stuff. But so it's the Warriors have had trouble stopping the run, but hopefully they get something figured out, and hopefully their offense gets going a little bit. The offense has been a little stagnant, especially against Elk Mound, and maybe part of that was the Elk Mound defense. But Gunnar Barth was out of the lineup. They missed him at running back. So, and if he's back, that gives them another weapon at running back, and it kind of opens it up for Schultz and Boyer and those guys. So.
It sounds like, to me, everybody's going to be good to go for Friday night's game.
Yep.
By the way, St. Croix Falls, they come out of the Heart of the North Conference where they finished third, actually second, I guess. Cameron and Northwestern tied for first.
Cameron is a number 1 seed, I believe. They're in D6. They are number 3 seed in D6. And Northwestern is the number 2 seed in our quadrant, so in D5.
So, that same portion of the bracket.
Yep.
But I guess when you look at this, and when the brackets came out, I think just about everybody was shocked. I'd have liked to have seen the faces on the Neillsville-Granton team and the Neillsville Pit when they saw that they had a 4 seed. Because I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen after that loss.
I said, we went to the senior get-together after the Elk Mound game, and I don't think there was anybody in that room who thought we'd be at home the next Friday night.
No, a lot of people thought that was their last game they were going to play.
last game at home. So
yeah, but they get that first game at home. They're a 4 seed against the number 5 seed St. Croix Falls team. Game time 7 o'clock. You can hear it on 92.7 WPKG.
And I think you have to say this, Larry. You don't want to look ahead, but Neillsville has a very favorable bracket, I think, because if they get through St. Croix Falls, they played Colby very tough. That's presumably will be their second round match, and so I think the bracket makers probably did Neillsville-Granton about as good as anybody could have. So,
yeah, because a lot of people said if they could have played Colby a little bit farther down the line.
Yep. So hopefully they get a chance to play them farther down the line. So.
Also, a reminder: there's going to be a tailgate party. The public is invited to enjoy some brats, barbecues, and sides. 5:45 until 6:30 by the field house. It's a free will donation with the proceeds going to the high school and middle school chess club.
Yep.
So they're inviting everybody out there to
and I think it should be a good
celebrate
time.
The home
little good food and good people, good conversations.
Yeah, talk about the game.
You bet.
Get your thoughts on it. I'm sure everybody's got an opinion on something. So again, St. Croix Falls at Neillsville-Granton. Also in this side of the bracket, we've got, as we mentioned, Durand, Arkansas at Colby. Gale Electric Trempealeau is at Stanley Boyd. And Elk Mound travels to Northwestern.
Right. So.
All right. So then we go down. Anything else you want to say on that?
On D5, WISportsNet has a contest that you can go in and pick these.
Okay.
So I picked them all.
Okay.
And I'm just going to state what my semis were. In my semis, or level 4, which you want to say, I have Wrightstown over Northwestern, Columbus over Lake Country Lutheran, and I have for a championship game in D5, I have Columbus over Wrightstown. So, which means Columbus is going to beat Aquinas in level 3.
Okay. All right.
And the reign of the Blue Goals.
You heard it here.
Right.
We know how far some of those predictions get.
Yeah, I said, take it for what it's worth.
Yes.
So.
All right, let's go up to Division 1. We'll start in Division 1 and go down from there. Just one area team that made the playoffs in Division 1. That's Stevens Point. And they'll be hosting Wausau West. Of course, a team they're familiar with from the season.
Yeah, interesting. Of course, this part of the state, there's only so many D1 schools to go around, and often you end up playing teams in your own conference. So,
all right, and then the winner of that one would play either Appleton North or Kimberly.
And Kimberly has a loss on the season. They lost towards the end of the season to Kaukauna, but they look still like could be a favorite in D1.
What do you got on that?
Okay, in our semifinals there, I have Kimberly over Bayport, Verona over Muskego, and in the finals I have Kimberly over Verona.
Okay, so Kimberly.
Yes.
Back on top.
Yep.
In the football world, according to Dick.
Larry's having nothing to do with this.
I don't know anything about these teams that are not from around here. So
I know a lot of names.
Yeah, right. Yeah, go by the names that
right.
have been good over the years. All right, Division 2, Marshfield. They are in Division 2. They're a 7th seed. They are at New Richmond. We mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, and if they win, they get the winner of number 3 Menominee and number 6 River Falls.
Boy, how many times has Marshfield played Menominee?
Oh gosh! Oh my goodness! Football. I said, back when Len Lutke was the coach, it's just him and Labuda hooked up many times, and now it keeps going. But there you go. You talk about D1 schools being short. Is there D2 schools, and so often the number 2 Valley schools go to the west because there you have River Falls, Menominee, a couple others in the. You
got lacrosse. The lacrosse schools are over in that
Central
area.
Is in D2. And
Holman.
So Holman.
All right. So what do you got in that?
In D2, Larry, I am going with Wanakee over Kaukauna, and that was one I wrestled with. Kaukauna is a team that beat Kimberly earlier in the season, but Wanakee has been so good for so long. I'm going to go with them. On the other side, I'm going with Kettle Moraine over Sun Prairie East, and in the championship game, I have Wanakee going over Kettle Moraine.
All right.
So.
Of course, Sun Prairie East is they split those schools up. It used to be just Sun Prairie.
Yeah, and I think in football, for now, East got the best of West because I believe West is like a 7th seed. So
okay, yeah.
They both made the playoffs. So.
It's one of those things like you used to do in gym class where you pick your teams and they pick the better team.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Somebody knew something.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Division III, nobody from our area really close.
Yeah, Medford, maybe.
Medford,
you know, I got Medford, number 2 Medford versus Hayward.
Okay.
And the winner of that game will face number 3 Onalaska against number 6 Rhinelander. So,
all right. So what do you got in Division 3?
Division 3, Level 4, I have Green Bay Notre Dame over Medford, and I have Port Washington over Monroe. And in the championship game in D3, I have Green Bay Notre Dame over Port Washington.
All right. Hope everybody's keeping track of these. So we can go back.
We'll never hear about it again.
Go back next week and
we'll hear
find
about
out
the good ones. Yeah.
All right, Division 4. We've got Altoona at St. Croix Central. Bloomer is at Mosinee, and I read about Mosinee. They've only given up like 3 points all year.
Mosinee has a very, very good team. That upper left hand is tough, though. You got on top, you got St. Croix Central. And St. Croix Central has just played havoc on teams in this area. So, you know, Mosinee might be a little different, but, you know, that's a long trip for Mosinee over to St. Croix Central also, and that would be a level 3 matchup. So,
right. Okay. All right.
Okay, in the D4 level 4, I have Lodi over St. Croix Central and Catholic Memorial over Luxembourg Casco. And in the championship game, I have Catholic Memorial over Lodi.
All right.
So,
not giving any props to Mosinee.
It's hard. You see what St. Croix Central did this year, and
right.
you know, and Great North was tough. Medford was I gave a lot. You know, Medford I thought would do well. I think, and quite honestly, Mosinee could go over to St. Croix Central and win.
Sure.
You know, I think Mosinee has a good enough team to go to Madison and win it all. You know, of course you got Catholic Memorial hanging out over there, but boy, a lot of people talk Lodi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people are really high on Lodi this year. So
okay, so watch that team.
Yeah.
All right, so then Division 5 we mentioned. So Division 6.
Yeah.
And a number of area teams, especially all kind of in the same bracket, sort of.
Bet. You know, I said in the upper left we do have number 7 Cadott and number 2 Abbotsford, and so and then of course the winner of that game will face the winner of Cameron and Crandon. So.
And then that bottom half is where all the area teams seem to be.
Yeah. Number 1 Auburndale versus number 8 Marathon. Number 5 Coleman versus number 4 Luther. Number 6 Bondwell versus number 3 Mondovi. And number 7 Waiawega Fremont versus number 2 Stratford. Very loaded 8 teams right there.
Now there would be a matchup. Yeah. Stratford and Mondovi in level 2.
Level 2, and that's a rematch of last year's state championship game.
Yes.
You know, so.
How about the short trip for Luther?
Cool. Yeah.
They are going literally across the state.
You're going from the Mississippi to the
Green Bay,
almost to Michigan.
Yeah,
you know,
So. Coleman is north of Green Bay, and Onalaska Luther, of course, is in Onalaska.
And Coleman, Larry, I think is a very good 5 seed.
Okay, I know they've been tough.
You know, they've been down to state many a time, and if Auburndale beats Marathon like we think, that'll be a challenge for them.
Okay.
You know.
All right. What do you got in that field?
Okay, in D6, I have Stratford over Cameron in the first semi, and St. Mary Springs over Kenosha St. Joseph's in the other semi, and in the championship game, I have St. Mary Springs over Stratford.
Okay.
So I look for Stratford to go down, but I don't think they're going to win the gold this year.
You think Grantsburg is anything, or are they coming out of that north and it's not that tough?
Yeah, I don't know. We will. I think we will learn more about Grantsburg maybe like in a level 3. When they go against a Cameron, somebody like that. Okay. I don't know. It's Grantsburg has always been very good athletic teams. And so they could go a long way. But I don't know a lot about Ladysmith or Cumberland. In the second round, you've got number 4 Ladysmith against number 5 Unity, and it was just last year. Ladysmith was not. They were playing non-conference games against Loyal and people like that, and struggling. So I don't know about them, but Cameron, co-champion in the Heart of the North, is a team that I look for up there.
Okay. All right. There we go. That's Division 6. Okay, moving on to Division 7, where we have a matchup of Elmwood Plum City at Regis, and then Glenwood City at Edgar, Blair Taylor at Cashton on that side of the bracket.
Yeah, that upper left, is very interesting. And when you have a level 2 matchup of Regis possibly going to Edgar, that's about as good as it can get right there. So,
well, I tell you though, Regis, we saw them against Gillsville Grant. They're not the team they used to be.
No, they're not.
And from what I hear, Edgar is
Edgar.
the team.
Yeah, last year Regis, I think it was 53-8 they beat Edgar. There's a possibility that could be flipped this year.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Boyceville got the number 1 seed up there. Boyceville undefeated. They come out of the Dun St. Croix. The Dun St. Croix is a D7 conference, D6, D7, but not the strongest conference.
Okay, that's the one where Cadot's out of too.
Yeah, Cadot is out of them too, and Spring Valley and Elmwood Plum City.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm not sure about Glenwood City, but it's if anybody it's going to be Edgar and Regis. I think it's going to be Edgar. I've said this all along. I believe that Edgar is going to be the team in Division 7 until somebody knocks them off. So.
Yeah, you're right. Loyal somehow got picked over in the over the right side of that bracket.
I said some of these teams got not bad traveling. Loyal's going to the other side of the state also. So.
I'm not sure how they got put way over in that bracket that they're in.
That's the lower right. You would think if they were going, I would have picked them to go to any other direction except that one.
Yeah, I would have thought maybe even Cochrane, Fountain City, Bangor, that location.
The only thing I could think of, Larry, it's the conference they play in. Where the Central Wisconsin Small is more centered over in that area because Iola got put in that quadrant too, but so did Crivets.
Sure.
Yeah, Crivets is more up north, but whatever. But anyway, Loyal is going 8th seed, and they'll be going over to play Reedsville, and of course Reedsville has a tremendous football background there too. They've been to Madison a few times, and they're over the years.
Yeah, there are some. You look at some of the names here in Division 7. We mentioned Edgar, but you've got Blackhawk, Warren.
Yep. Bangor.
Randolph.
Iola goes back a long way.
Pep and Alma.
Yep. Pep and Alma is an interesting team to watch down there. They put up a lot of points. Now, I don't have a lot of love for the Dairyland Conference, but they're still a team to watch, I guess. So. And Cashton, too. Cashton has been a team that everybody's talked about this year, but that could be a possible a level 4 matchup with Edgar, and that should be interesting there.
Yeah.
So.
All right, what do you got in Division 7?
I have Edgar over Cashton in the first semi, Reedsville over Blackhawk Warren in the second semi. In the championship game, I have Edgar over Reedsville.
Yeah, I think Edgar is going to pretty much
I do too.
take care of everybody that's
I agree, Larry.
in their way.
I've thought a lot about them ever since they lost a non-conference game at home to Ellsworth, 8-6. Ellsworth, a D3, D4 team, and since then, you look what they did to Stratford. You look what they did to Kobe.
Not
Auburndale.
even close.
Yeah, not even close. Hardly giving up any points this year, and they have one of the best running backs in the state in Carter Butt. So,
Yep. All right, so then we go to 8-player football. They also have their playoffs starting on Friday night. Of course, they only have 16 teams in the whole field.
Yeah, their championship game is the week before.
Yeah, November 11th.
Yep. So
they got Siren at McDonald Central, but then the matchup is the one is Gilman hosting Newman Catholic. Now Gilman's been number 1 all year, and Newman Catholic's the defending champs.
Yeah, for how many years too? So, but it's Newman has struggled this year, but they still got in the playoffs, and they got. You almost think the way everything is set up here, if you ranked them 1 through 16, Gilman is probably number 1, and Newman is probably number 16. So, but Newman is still still out there, and Gilman's going to have to go out, play him tough, and if whoever wins that game is going to have a good game on their hands with the winner of Owen Withy and Thorpe too.
Yeah, Owen Withy and Thorpe just played last week, and
Thorpe knocked them off
by 2 points.
Yeah, so
but they have some pretty good play. They have a pretty good quarterback in Denzel Sutton.
Yep, and Gilman has a great running back in Troy Duhlman. So,
right.
So
and McDonald Central also they have a good quarterback in Grant Smiskey.
Yeah.
In fact, he completed 68.1% of his passes.
Is that something? Oh, wow.
That's good for high school.
Yeah, that's tremendous. And I don't care if it's 8 man. That's pretty good in practice.
Right. Yeah, 68%, especially for high school.
We talk about the other side. Florence, Larry, on the other side has been a team that's. Yeah, they were the first team to knock off Newman this year, and people have thought pretty highly of them all year.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Look for them to come off to the other side. So.
Got anything in the 8-player?
Yep, I've got in the semis. I've got Gilman over McDonald, Florence over North Crawford, and I'm going with Gilman over Florence in a championship game. So
Should be a good one.
you bet. So
Should be a good one.
Yep.
8-player football. All right, there it is. The brackets for playoff football. It gets underway. Season 2 for high school football.
We will
Friday
review,
night.
We will review this next week, and we'll see what I got. So
What percentage was right or wrong for next week?
I'm sticking to them for this week, though.
All right. There we go. That's what's happening in football.
Yeah.
Girls volleyball, of course, they have their regional semifinals coming up tonight.
Yeah, Tuesday night was the quarterfinals, and most of the area teams did pretty well. Nielsville getting knocked off of Edgar, though. They played some couple of
really good games.
Good games. They lost to the Wildcats 3-0 to end their season. Kobe's season ended in Nakusa, but Abbey beat Auburndale. Loyal drove all the way to Elma Pepin and come away with a win there. So for that they get to go to Columbus tonight. So
Columbus has been
Columbus
doing very well.
Columbus
this year.
looks like the team to beat in D4. So, but anyway, tonight you got in semifinals in D4. You got Owen Withey at Prentice, New Auburn at Gilman, Rosholt is at Newman Catholic, Loyal at Columbus Catholic, and Pittsville at Athens in D4. In D3, we have Colfax at McDonald Central, Regis at Spring Valley, Elk Mound at Cadott, Durand, Arkansas at Fall Creek, Nakusa at Stratford, Edgar at Marathon, Abbey at Westby. And D1, Marshall has a bye till the finals.
Yeah, the regional final. Yeah, they don't play tonight.
They play Saturday night at home.
Wow.
And they have the winner of Hudson and Stevens Point. So, how about that? 2 byes right through to the finals.
Wow, that's pretty good.
But there you go again, Larry. D1, not as many teams in this area.
Yep.
But
Yeah, you talk about Columbus Catholic getting back to the conference. Yeah. They put 7 girls on the all-conference
it's kind
teams.
of amazing when you can only have 6 on the floor at a time.
Yeah,
yeah. But anyway, the Eastern Conference All-Star, you talk about Columbus. We have Courtney Summer, a senior from Columbus, and Courtney was also Player of the Year.
Second year in a row.
Alea Kren, a junior, and I believe I had one more.
Izzy Hoglund.
Izzy Hoglund,
yeah, she was first team.
Yeah, but Paris Opelt from Nielsville, first team. Dalen Reike from Colby, a sophomore. And Addison Wolf, sophomore from Loyal, first team. Second team, you have Savannah Thompson from Colby, junior. Matta Shefke, a senior from Columbus. Emma Dulsner, a senior from Columbus. And then Danelle Mann, a senior from Gilman. Autumn Zovalina, a junior from Loyal. Raina Arndt, a senior from Owen Withey. And Claudia Kraus, a senior from Spencer. And then honorable mention is Tori Underwood, junior from Colby. Elena Eagle, a sophomore from Columbus. Shelby Spada, another sophomore from Columbus. Yeah, you wonder how Columbus keeps going. Look at all these underclassmen on the all-conference team.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kaylee James, a junior from Gilman. Hope Peroshik, a junior from Loyal. Kaylee Lawrence, a junior from Nielsville. And Alyssa Bacchino, a sophomore from Spencer, as honorable mention.
I'm looking at this team for Loyal.
Yeah.
And they're all underclassmen that made the all-conference list.
Yeah,
so.
And not to brag about a relative, but Addison Wolf is doing a heck of a job. She went to, she was second team all-conference in basketball as a freshman. Went to state and track in 3 events as a freshman. Now as a sophomore, she's a all-conference in volleyball. So she's going to have a great career at Loyal.
Sounds like it, yeah.
So,
remember that name, Addison Wolf.
Yes.
Basketball player?
Dick's niece.
Basketball player?
Basketball. She was all-conference second team as a freshman.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. So
and track. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so she's got a great career started. So.
Good 3-sport athlete.
You bet. So.
All right, so that's girls volleyball, as they will have their, again, regional semifinals coming up tonight. The winners tonight move on to the regional finals on Saturday.
Yep.
Clorbell Cross Country Meet was held this past Saturday in Chippewa Falls, and Bloomer
How about that for a day out to run cross country?
Yeah. Bloomer took first for the boys and girls on that Saturday.
How about Isaac Shear from Columbus, first place, in the boys. So great for him, and so that puts him on the first team all-conference team.
Yep.
Connor Genneman from Loyal Greenwood finished 9th. That's second team. Nielsville Granton's top runners, Will Drinka 23rd, Hunter Schultz 27th. So.
All right. And again, Bloomer took first
Yep.
For the boys and the girls at that Clorbell Conference cross-country meet. They have their sectionals coming up
Yeah.
Again, cross country only goes sectionals, and then they go right to state.
Pretty interesting. They've got a D2 and a D3 sectional at Colby this week. I believe it's.
Let's see. What do we got here?
I believe
Yes.
D2
you're right.
and a D3 at Colby.
Yeah.
So most of the area teams in D3 and D2, other than Owen Withy, McDonald, Thorpe, Regis, and Cadott, and Fall Creek, they're going to the Cadott sectional. But just about everybody else is going to Colby.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams from our area going to be at the Colby sectional.
Yep.
And how it works is the first 2 teams and the first 5 individuals who are not on those teams advance to state for cross country.
And then I believe their state tournament match is in Rapids the weekend after.
October 28th.
Yep.
So that's coming up this weekend. Good luck to all the area runners involved in the cross country meets coming up this weekend. One other note from a local youngster. Well, not youngster anymore, but Cody Craig was officially inducted into the St. Norbert Intercollegiate Athletics Hall of Fame.
How about what a career he had? Well, first of all, he had a tremendous career here in Neillsville.
Yeah.
Though Bryce Erickson is pushing him at a lot of totals.
Yes, he is.
So, but anyway, Cody's 2004 to 2007 at St. Norbert. He was second all-time in career yards, 7,181. Second in touchdown passes with 70. Second in completions all-time, 507. He has the all-time record for yards in a season, 2,755. And he's the only, only St. Norbert quarterback to throw for 30 touchdowns in a season. So, wow.
Good for him.
Yeah, he hit the right place to go. And, of course, congratulations to Cody. And, of course, Cody's still living over in that area and working. And then, of course, his mom, Mark and Cindy Craig, just relocated to that area also.
Yes, they did.
So congratulations.
Cody is a 2004 Neillsville High School graduate.
And if you want a full recap on Cody's career, call his dad because he can give it to you.
Oh, yeah. Mark will give it to you. You bet. All right. Well, that'll take us to where are they now?
Okay, Larry. I'm going over to Marshfield and talk about Adam Stroik. And Adam was a 2000 graduate of Marshfield High School and was a 3-year letter winner on the Tiger football team. His sophomore year, the Tigers were 12-2, finishing second in Wisconsin Valley and qualifying for the WIAA Division I playoffs, where they went all the way to the championship game, defeating Oak Creek 21-14 for the title. Adam started at linebacker for the Tigers that year and had 5 tackles for loss with 1 pass interception. His junior year, the Tigers were 8-3, losing in level 2 of the WIAA playoffs to eventual Division I state champion DC Everest. Adam, starting at linebacker for the Tigers, led the Tigers in tackles and had 7 tackles for losses and 2 pass interceptions. He was second all-conference in the Valley Conference and was named Marshfield's most valuable defensive player. His senior year, the Tigers were 13-1, Valley Conference champions, and qualifying for the WIAA Division I playoffs, where they would advance all the way to the championship game before losing to Homestead 23-13. Adam led the Tigers in tackles in that game with 14. For the season, Adam led the Tigers in tackles, pass interceptions, tackles for loss, and fumble recoveries. He was first-team all-conference in the Valley Conference, Defensive Player of the Year in the Valley Conference, and was named a Channel 7 All-Star on defense, and was named first-team All-State by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel and second-team on the AP All-State team. He was also selected to play in the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association All-Star Game. In the winter, Adam was a 2-year letter winner on the Tiger basketball team. His junior year, the Tigers were 15-8. Adam averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds. His senior year, the Tigers were 15-8. They were regional champs before losing in the sectional semifinals to Wausau West. Adam averaged 8 points and 5 rebounds a game for the Tigers that year. In the spring, Adam was a 3-year letter winner on the Tiger baseball team. His sophomore year, the Tigers were 14-7. Adam was a starting catcher for the Tigers, hitting .275 with 6 doubles and 12 RBIs. His junior year, the Tigers were 16-5, losing in the sectional semis to Eau Claire Memorial. Adam hit .288 with 8 doubles, 1 triple, and 17 RBIs, and was an honorable mention all-selection on the Valley All-Conference team. His senior year, the Tigers were 20-3 on the season. They were Valley Conference, regional, and sectional champions, qualifying for the WIAA Division I state tournament, where they would defeat Oconomowoc 6-3 in the quarterfinals and Milwaukee Hamilton 6-3 in the semifinals before losing to Fond du Lac in the finals. Adam hit .305 with 10 doubles, 1 triple, and 1 home run, and 22 RBIs on the season. He was second team All-Valley and was named the Tigers' most valuable player. Adam graduated from Marshfield in 2000 and was elected to the Marshfield Tiger Athletic Hall of Fame in 2021. After graduation, Adam earned an athletic scholarship to play football at Minnesota State at Mankato. His freshman year, the Mavericks were 4-7. Adam, playing mainly on special teams, had 9 tackles on the year. His sophomore year, Mankato was 4-7. Adam, starting at linebacker, was second on the team with 92 tackles, 12.5 for loss, 1 interception, and 3 pass breakups. He was named second team All-Conference in the Northern Collegiate Conference and was named an academic All-American by Football Gazette. His junior year, the Mavericks were 0-11. Adam led the team in tackles with 111, 10.5 for loss. He also had 7 pass breakups and 2 fumble recoveries. He was first team All-Conference and was named second team All-American in Division II by Football Gazette and was also named an academic All-American. His senior year, Mankato was 6-5. Adam led the team in tackles with 144, 8 for loss, 1 pass interception, 5 pass breakups, and 1 fumble recovery. He was first team All-Conference and first team NCAA Division II All-American and also was named an academic All-American. Adam graduated from Minnesota State at Mankato in 2005 with a degree in business administration. After graduation, Adam enlisted in the United States Navy. He had a 15-year career as a Navy SEAL and 5 years as a naval officer serving in Iraq and Afghanistan, where he received numerous medals and commendations for his service and valor. Today, Adam is working in the private investment business. He and his wife, Luann, and their 3 children reside in Imperial Beach, California. Adam Strick, Larry.
All right, there we go. Where are they now? Yeah. Good athlete.
Oh, boy. Another 3-star start from Marshfield. You don't see a lot of them anymore. But
no, especially D1.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's tough to do.
Yeah, and played, catcher and just tough. And had a good career at Minnesota State also. So.
Right. All right, moving on to college football. The Badgers got some bad news after their game on Saturday.
Yeah, about halfway through, late in the first half, Tanner Mordecai kind of whacked his hand right on another guy's helmet and ended up with a broken hand. So looks like he's going to be lost for a while, if not for the season. So, and so red shirt Braden Locke, who came in Saturday, will look like the starter now. And of course, he's more of a traditional quarterback. In fact, he doesn't run as much like Mordecai.
Okay.
So we'll see.
What happened to that Burkett guy?
Yeah, he's still on the team from Franklin.
I thought he was supposed to be the.
Yeah, he was Player of the Year in the state.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the old regime would have taken around if he'd had a chance, but now you got a new regime coming in. So
that just goes to show how hard it is to get into college.
Yeah.
When you get to that level, you could be all state in high school, and you get to college, and they're all that way.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting. Deacon Hill, who was on the Badgers roster from California, transferred to Iowa. And of course, with injuries, he was Iowa's starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So, so sometimes you got maybe you don't see it the way it is, and maybe you got to look for a place that you may have a chance. So,
yeah.
But Burkett, being the local boy, probably his lifetime dream to play for the Badgers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully he gets a chance.
Maybe you get a chance. Locke looks like a good passer, but and he they're going to have him throw because teams are going to stack 8-9 guys in the box to stop Allen now. You know that. So
surprising how much they don't run Allen.
Yeah.
Compared to other years, but it's a different regime, like you said.
Yeah, like you said, Phil Longo comes from a passing background, and quite honestly, I don't think their offensive line is as good as it used to be there. So,
because I know a lot of analysts are saying the Badgers are kind of wondering what their identity is right now.
Yeah, and they really don't know, I don't think. So
Because it used to be running. I mean, that was their thing.
Yeah, running and then defense.
Right.
And their defense still isn't bad, but it's not as quite well as like when Jim Leonard was running.
Right.
So
So the Badgers are at Illinois
Yep.
coming up on Saturday,
Yep.
and that game is on FS1 at 2:30.
Okay.
And I see that next week's game against Ohio State at Camp Randall is going to be a 6:30 start on NBC.
Okay. Yep.
Next Saturday
all
night.
right. Okay. Big one.
Yeah.
Ohio State's got a big one this week.
Yeah, there are. That's probably the biggest game in college football.
Number 7 Penn State at number 3 Ohio State, and that's at 11 o'clock Saturday morning on Fox.
Yeah.
So
That's probably the game of the week right there.
Yep. So that's going to go a long way to say who wins the Big Ten East. So
There's only a couple of other games that involve two top 25 teams.
yeah, you got number 17 Tennessee at number 11 Alabama. Let's see. Oh, Duke. Duke is ranked 16. They're at Florida State, number 4. And
I guess there's another one. I didn't see that one.
And
there
number
we go.
14 Utah at number 18 USC. USC took quite a fall after that loss in Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It seems like they got out of the Pac-10 and they found where defense is played. So
Yeah, and then when they get back into the
Yeah.
Pac-10,
Yeah.
it's not going to be an easy.
No.
You got Washington and Oregon still
you
coming
bet.
up.
You know, and Washington's undefeated. Oregon with 1 loss. You know, though that should be a good game this week. 4-2 Washington State at Oregon, so that could be a pretty decent game also. So,
Sure.
but-
All right, there you go. That's college football. Some good games coming up on the weekend. The NFL, the Packers, it seems like they haven't played since last year.
Yeah.
What did I heard after they played Detroit on that Thursday night, and up until they play this week, they only had 1 game in 23 days.
Yeah, right. So if they're not healthy now, they're never going to be.
And if they haven't figured it out.
Yeah, and we'll see. But, everybody says, well, they should be able to go in Denver and win. Well, I've seen them go into lesser places and lose games.
Yep.
And Denver, and, sooner or later, Denver's going to figure it out, too.
You would think.
So with their new regime there.
Yeah.
So, but not a lot going on in the NFL this week, though. Yeah.
The biggest game is probably Sunday night.
Yeah. Yeah, Miami at Philadelphia. That should be at the end. Philadelphia should be smarting very good after that loss to the Jets.
Yes, they should.
But tonight you got Jacksonville at New Orleans.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon, Detroit at Baltimore could be good. And then Monday night, San Francisco at Minnesota. That's kind of going to be an injury bowl there. You got Justin Jefferson, of course, is out for Minnesota. And then, boy, I'll tell you, the 49ers were walking wounded.
Yeah.
McCaffrey and a few others.
How long is he out?
I don't know.
I haven't heard anything
I haven't heard anything about Samuel either, but neither one of them played in the second half of that game. And so
the Packer game, by the way, is a 3:25 start
on Fox.
CBS.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I thought I read Fox.
No,
Okay.
It's actually on CBS. Or you can listen to it on 107.5
Yeah, I think I'll just turn the TV on and listen to Wayne Larrabee.
There you go,
Sounds
107.5
better.
The Rock.
We should have mentioned, too, the WIAC, Larry.
Okay.
Last weekend, Whitewater defeated River Falls. And that kind of threw that conference.
Yes.
They defeated River Falls 21-14. Number 4, La Crosse, is now alone in first place. River Falls dropped to 8th. They're at Stevens Point this week. Whitewater is up to number 5, and they host Stout. So
wow, they moved up.
Yeah.
Pretty good there in the rankings.
Yeah, you bet. La Crosse looks really tough.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's another team, Whitewater, that
Yeah.
gets a lot of the accolades from years past, I'm sure.
So they're going to need some help to get in the playoffs this year, though, with that loss to La Crosse already.
Right.
So,
Yep.
so.
Just a reminder, Neillsville Rec Department has their football Olympics tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock up at the high school football field. Looks like it might be a fairly decent day for them.
Hopefully.
You never know what you're going to get on
these
October
days.
20th.
Yeah. Looks like it could be. It might be a little bit sweatshirt weather, but
yeah,
not bad.
but I mean that's
it ain't going to be raining, don't
right,
look like.
or snowing or whatever else
so.
it could be doing at this time of the year. Let's see. Baseball continues with the championship series.
Looks like the Rangers and Phillies are getting hot right at the right time.
Right now, I'd pick the Rangers and Phillies in the World Series.
Yeah, well, I tell you, are Phillies built for that that park they play in? Oh man,
they like to hit home runs.
You betcha.
Like to hit home runs.
And the Rangers playing good baseball right now. You bet. So,
all right. Anything else?
We talked about last Thursday night. The football mothers had kind of a nice little party for the seniors, and they were nice enough to recognize you and I. So thank you thank them for that. And then a lot of people know that in the last week my father passed away, and I just want to thank everybody for the kind words. It's
All right.
my dad had a good run, and just thank you for everything, everybody. So
You bet.
So.
All right. That'll do it for Two Guys on Sports for this week. We'll find out how Dick did in his picks next week.
If I'm not here, you don't say it went south. I'll be under a different name.
Yes. And don't forget football tomorrow night. Neilsville Granton hosting St. Croix Falls, Level 1 of the Division 5
Be a good
playoffs.
night to fill the hill.
You bet. 7 o'clock game time on 92.7 WPKG. That's Two Guys on Sports. I'm Larry Hazer.
I'm Dick Olson.
We'll talk to you next week.